I joined Lee's program, I overcame that nervousness, and then that helped me a lot, and now I speak very fluently. And since I attended many of these meetings as possible, I became a more active participant and even went to a few crutch practice sessions. The book that I read to stop my stuttering was How to Stop Stuttering and Love Speaking, which was a more than 200-page book, which really helped me out. I am very proud to be a PWSS, and I want to thank Lee, Javier, and Danny, and everybody that helped me along the way to becoming a PWSS. Thank you.
Well done, Talib.
Yeah, it was a little short, but
No, it's
yeah,
all good. That was fantastic. I'll say, and if anyone has any questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll call on you. But I'll say that you said that you didn't speak at your first SAM meeting you attended, but dare I say, I believe you have spoken at every single one since,
oh,
because you always throw your hand up and you always say something, and that's always impressed me because even from the get go, I remember when you first joined, and even from the get go, you were always quick to throw your hand up, and even if you didn't have a question, just give a comment, give a compliment to the speaker, whoever, and I'll just say that always impressed me about you.
thank you.
I really enjoyed your speech. You're always very, active in all the SAM meetings. You're like Clifton said, you always, participate and show up, which is very important, right? Showing up is very important. It solves half the problem. And your speech is wonderful as usual. And I could see that you repeat, right? But I just want to I just want to clarify that repetition is not stuttering. Like we all do repeat, right? Repetition is not stuttering. So that's absolutely normal. So you were talking about reading aloud, right? So reading
Mhm.
aloud helped you. So I'm just
Mhm.
curious, how did mind training impact your fluency?
Well, essentially, I did positive affirmations every day in my mind, like whenever I was like whenever I had nothing to do. So instead, like I always thought positive. Every negative, I thought of two positives, and then that gradually helped me to the point
Fantastic.
where I am now.
What gave you the confidence to speak under pressure?
Well, it was really simple. I got really tired of doing the same thing I always did, and I wanted to change who I was. And after so many years, it's just I got really tired of everything that I was doing. So I decided to change it because my stuttering was it caused my anxiety the stuttering was a element of my nervousness. The stuttering just came because of that. So I decided to stop being nervous, and that is how that happened.
Yeah, I'll describe it as uh, if someone's beating you with a stick every day, after 20 years you get tired of getting beat with a stick and you decide to do something about it.
Something like that.
That was what drove me to try to find something because it was just so miserable to feel like you were getting slapped around all day. You can't say what you want. You can't finish a joke. It's incredibly frustrating.
It's a pleasure to see you today. Uh, I have been watching you since you first started coming to SAM meetings, and I just want to commend you on your amazing progress, your determination, and more than anything, to me, you are you are a tremendous example of courage because I
Thank
know
you.
it's a struggle when you are having difficulty, then you put yourself out there and then others can see you having difficulty. And I know it takes courage to do that. So I just want to tell you, young man, you got a lot of courage and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you on your progress.
Thank you.
Uh, I have two questions for you.
Mhm.
What was your go-to crutch? And the second thing is, you said that reading has had the greatest impact on you. So, did you use any crutch while reading, or did you just read normally?
For the second question, I made sure I read very loudly and I spoke passionately about each word. And what's important is I chose books that I really like to read as well. So that helped. And I love to change my voice register. Now I think it's very fun to just go up and down. So yeah, that is what I use now.
Thank you very much for your speech. It was beautiful. And I have two questions for you. So first, what are your next steps? So now that you are a PWSS, and second is, what do you do when and if a bad thought comes in?
So my next steps are just trying to always raise my hand in school, speak during presentations, and make it more people so I can speak to more people. And so if a bad thought comes, well, before I present, then I say I acknowledge the thought and I say what the thought is out loud, and then I say two more positive affirmations out loud.
I like that method, Talib. Is that something you came up with on your own? The two positives for one negative, or is that
The method I came up with on my own was saying it all out loud. It's voicing it and acknowledging that it's there so that I can overcome it.
How are you able to handle your bad incidents, and what speech plan do you adopt when handling?
When a bad incident happens, I acknowledge first that it happened and I figure out why it happened, and then I think of steps to overcome that, and then I move forward because I don't stay on that bad thing for too long because otherwise you're just gonna keep remembering that. I don't think I really necessarily used a speech plan. I made sure I read aloud every day, and then I made sure I spoke passionately, and that was about it.
I just want to say, Talib, good job on your speech, and you are very brave and confident, and I'm very proud of your success.
Thank you.
Was that your mom, Talib?
No, I'm not his mom.
No,
You just said he's brave and so talented. I was like, wait a minute,
not at all. That's not my mom
We
at
have an
all.
intruder.
I'm a proud speech mom.
Hey, you
That would
figured
be-
out the mom?
That would make me Taylor's father.
So in your experience, what do you think separates the WSSA from any other speech therapist program that you've attended?
Well, I know that I finally decided to put in the work, and everyone here was conducive to me doing well. They all pushed me forward. And when I went for therapy, like it just seemed like I was getting stuck on the same thing, like I forget, but a rabbit just going through a hole, just like over and over and over and over again. But then when I came here, I put in the work and I moved forward.
Yeah, I'll just say that the difference between the WSSA program and speech therapists for me was that you wanted to learn to fly and you're on a plane and you ask a fellow passenger versus going and talking to the pilot. That's the difference. They're not even on the same playing field. I feel like my speech therapist had sympathy for me and she had a few ideas, but she did not understand the problem at all. And the first 2 pages of Lee's book is what got me hooked because he understood the problem. And
Definitely.
I feel like it's a completely different world.
It's always great to see everybody here, and I thought that Talib was very interesting in explaining his go-to crutch. And this is a little bit remote for me because I've never been a stutter.
Sure.
But that you chose books you liked, which was really important. And you explained to me how you changed the inflection of your voice, and you thought that helped you.
I mean, I thought it helped me at first. It was a little hard because I had never done that before, but doing it over and over, it just feels fun to like raise your voice register up and down, up and down. It feels like you're a kid that wants to get some some ice cream or something. It's just fun.
Well, okay, I stand enlightened. I kind of understand these because I've read them all
Yeah.
in Coach's books, but this kind of gives voice to it. But that's
Let me add
very,
on that, Tom. Let me just toss in on that. That's probably the easiest way of all to avoid stutters. Simply go up or down when you're talking on some words, because when you come out, scratch eight, when you come out of your voice register, you always fake out the stutter guy. He's not there. If you stay there, he'll get there eventually. But Talib doesn't do that. He just keeps inflection. Now, when Ebros, who's not here today, who stuttered on every word, as he wrote to us, I'm the worst stutterer you'll ever hear. And the first time I talked to him, he was close to it. He stuttered on virtually every word. And we got him to think, mean it. Say it like you mean it, Ibra. And when he did that, he did what Talib's doing.
yeah.
He went up and down because you when you speak as if you mean it, you naturally change your voice register. Okay, Talib, great job as always. For fluency, you're there. No one listening to you. If you never mentioned the word stuttering, no one listening to you, some stranger from your town or my town or any town wouldn't think you stutter. So that's the most important thing. Your delivery was good. It was quite good. In your Q&A, in my opinion, you're talking a little bit fast
Mm.
and you're pushing the envelope with continuums and you're still not stuttering, but it's not as smooth as it would be if you
Okay.
slowed down a little bit and had, shorter increments. So Dean mentioned that you had courage. I would second that. I would also add persistence and patience. You don't quit. And in that sense, you and I are a lot alike because that's the way I am. I'm not so good at things, but I just don't give up. So when you don't give up, eventually you get better than you might think you ever would have. And you generally get good enough to accomplish the goals that you have. So you and I and a lot of other people here aren't quitters, and that makes us winners. So congrats on that. Look, this program is the neuroscience program. We're all about training our minds. And how many times have I said to you and everyone here, and in the first words of my book, which I say are the most important words in my book, are not my words. They're the words of Frank S. Caprio when he said, we have free choice to accept or reject thoughts. Nothing compels us to think anything except our own desires. So use your mental switch, flick, and dictate your thoughts. Dictate your thoughts. Believe that you can improve, and you will. Clifton, thank you again.
I will close with our motto. You can say it along with me if you choose. If you can say one word anywhere, anytime, you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. And until next Saturday, everyone have a great weekend.